Here we are, guys. What's going on, everybody? So, just to give you guys like a recap of what's going on here while everyone's getting on. Suetan had asked if I had the Weller foolproof yet. If anybody doesn't know, I'm a straight up hoe for Weller. I hoard OWA in my bunker to no end. So he was nice enough to send over a sample of Weller Foolproof and also the Craft Your Perfect Bourbon for me. And along with that, he's sent over two random samples. I have no clue what these things are. I just poured them. I'm not nosed them or anything yet. So I'm going to go through those. We'll rank them, and then he's going to let me know what we have going on here. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. I'm going to start with what he has labeled as A. I'm going to go through and nose everything first, then come back through and taste them and start ranking them. I'm not going to get super detailed, but I'll try to give some notes as we go along. A smells pretty sweet. It's got some cherry going on. It smells good. B doesn't have quite the strength on the nose. The aromas aren't as strong. Not really sure what's going on there. Slide over to C. C is pretty similar to B. Not picking up a lot of them just right off. So this for the day will put me up to 11 blind samples. So it's pretty possible that my nose or my palate are a bit shot at the moment. All right, so D is completely different. D is something off the radar nose wise from the other three. So we know that. It's got kind of a malty thing going on. Just a deeper caramel type sweetness. So I'll go through and start trying to separate them. 1 through 4. So we'll taste A first. A's got a pretty good mouthfeel. Kind of coats the mouth. It's got some cinnamon. There's some sweetness, some darker stuff like some caramels. So we can hold that one off. We'll jump into B here and see if it is in the same ballpark as A. All right, so A I would classify as being a good bit darker. B is more of a bright floral, not necessarily floral, but it's a much brighter type of sweetness than what I'm getting off of A. So there is a good bit of separation between those two in terms of flavors. All right, so just off the bat, I'll have to move C to the top spot here. It has a really rich thing going on here. that the others don't have. The first two have not been bad, but C is rich, almost like the type of richness from like a Werther's hard candy that I'm getting going on. Yeah. Yeah, I started my first blind at 11 o'clock today. We've been going since then. So this is about as good as we're going to get. What I'm going to use the rest of these samples for is we're going to have I'm going to do a full on Weller blind. So we're going to have OWA, WSR, Weller 12, Full Proof, and Craft Your Perfect Bourbon. I'm not going to go onto William LaRue because I feel like that's just taking it a bit too far. So let's try D here. D's the one that stood out as being completely different than the other three on the nose. D has a lot of sweetness. A lot of sweetness. It's like a deep brown sugar type note. That's really interesting. Really interesting. No, that one's so much different. I'm not really sure what to do with it here. I'm gonna have to pour some more of that one in here. So what I'm going to do now, A and B didn't really separate themselves. So I'm going to taste off A and B and try to separate those two for now. It's not really green, but A doesn't taste, we'll say it doesn't taste as well aged. It's, it just doesn't have the oak and the depth of maturity that I'm used to drinking in a lot of stuff. So I may be completely wrong here, but I'll test B up against it. But I got a feeling B is going to outdo A. Okay, so B is not totally different from A, but it's got a lot more cinnamon on the back that I didn't get out of A. The finish kind of fell flat on A. So right now I've got C, B, A, and D. D's not really ranked last. It was so far off. I need to go back and taste it again. All right, so I'll put D over A. So A is last. That one, A has finished last. That one's set. The other three, not so set yet. I see you DJs going fucking crazy talking about butt chugging. Nothing good ever came of that. All right, so let's go back to C. C's the one that had that kind of like Werther's caramel note. It's still there. The Werther's note. The Werther's note's pretty nice. Let's see how it stands up right back with B. All right, B has the finish that A doesn't have, even though A or C doesn't have, even though C has so much of the caramel with that Werther's. So I got B and C. I got B in first here. We'll do D against C. D just has a richness to it that I'm not getting from something else. But it is so sweet. I did do a warm up. I went to some Evan Williams white label to do the warm up, and in between that, between that other flight and this one, I've drank 3 different Traverse Cities that I have reviews coming out for fairly soon. But yeah, we've been rolling since earlier in the day. I feel like I'm going to pick something here that probably isn't Weller. It probably going to make myself look like them asses here, but we'll see what happens. I really like whatever's going on in D. I got a feeling that this may be something off the wall, but at the moment, I like where it's going. All right, so D just has a richness. So even though that Werther's flavor is really nice, D beats that one. So let's separate B and D here, and this should finish it off. Rye blind with 291. That was easier than this because it stood so far out. Nothing here is standing out is just terrible, which Suetan's been known to slide some strange stuff in here. So there's a chance that there's just something crazy in here. All right, fuck it. I got a feeling D is something shady, but it's good. I like what's going on in D. It's off profile from everything else. It's not Crown Royal Peach. I'm afraid it's brown sugar bourbon, honestly, because it's sweet, but fuck, it's good. It's rich. So The last things to separate D's the winner. Um, D's the winner and A's the last. It's just between B and C now. It's not brown sugar bourbon. That I'm glad to know. I don't care. You guys know that I'm prone to pull shots of strange flavored things out of my freezer. So, all right. So, I think I'm going to go DCBA. DCBA is the final answer. Wait and see what we got here. Frozen screwballs. We'll go for it. Let's see. Feedback on proof. I wasn't really looking for proof, honestly, so we can just jump to the reveal. All right, John, what do we got? Yeah, in winning order, DCBA. A is larceny. Okay, that's understandable. So larceny came in last place. Wow, Weller foolproof. That's pretty surprising. I mean, C and B were pretty close. So Craft Your Perfect Bourbon. That's the one that had the Werther's note to it. So B did have more well-rounded flavor than C did, but I was really digging that caramel note. So my reputation may not be intact until I find out what D is. D's Maker's 46. My reputation is not intact. Holy shit! It's so sweet. It. I would Jesus. My mind is blown. Okay, then I need to rethink my stance on Makers. The last time I drank Makers 46 was like right after it came out in a bar. Didn't really like it. Obviously, things have changed since then. I'm really shocked. That's good to know. That's an easy to acquire, fairly priced bottle. So I'm glad that it came out on top. So I'm not sure what day we're going to do the other the Weller flight on, but just stay on Instagram. I'll be sure to let you guys know. If anybody's not in my Discord community, join there. Also, join the Whiskey Net. That's the hub for all of us bourbon degens at this point. So stay tuned on my Instagram, and I'll check with you guys later. Have a good one.